Okay, well, then count down at least.
5, 4, 3, 2.
I need you to say it in English because I'm not knowing what numbers there are. And it's for the count.
Okay, but you know.
I know that you can only count in French, but I need you to...
What if I do my hands? Watch my hands.
Okay.
Watch my hands.
Okay.
5, 4, 3.
No, see...
Okay, but this is because it's my left hand.
Your
Let me use
hands
my
are
right
messing
hand.
up. No.
Let me use my right hand.
Okay.
Because you know I have a crooked middle finger on this hand and it gets awkward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good. Good day. Good day to you guys. Good day, heavy bank. Let's try that again. That was actually pretty rough. Let's try it again.
The count?
Yeah, the count again. But try it in English this time. See if it's any different.
I can't count down in
Okay, then
English.
just count from 3 down. It's too long. 5 is too long.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome, Mischa. Welcome the fans.
Thank you for
Or the
welcoming me.
listeners, the fans. I don't know. Maybe they're the same. But did you say?
Well, I said thank you because I thought you were welcoming me. But
Well, I was welcoming you to the.
Okay.
Welcome yourself to the fans.
I'm welcome to you guys.
She's welcome.
And you're welcome to me. And I welcome you. And thank you for welcoming me.
And that's how she feels about all of you listeners. That's how much you guys mean to us. Without you guys, we would... well, who knows what we'd be doing, really. Could be doing all sorts of different activities. Like
Well,
I
I'm
would
house
even get
sitting
into
right
your
now.
house sitting. I could get into landscaping. It could be all sorts of different things. Your house sitting and
It's a very nice home.
a very nice home in a very nice place. And that's and you, how do you feel about it?
About house sitting?
About the experience right now?
About sitting here with you?
No, the house sitting part.
Oh, I like to be in my own home with
Mm-hmm.
my family
Mhm.
unit of you yourself,
Yeah.
and our pets.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever children could be on the way one day.
That's not happening right now. Thank you so much. We'll continue.
But I like the dog at the home.
So your dog sitting as well, kind of.
Yeah. I
So you
would say
take
I'm
care
really
of-
more so dog
You're like
sitting.
a groundskeeper.
Well, I'm not a groundskeeper in that I'm not actually doing any work on the grounds.
Well, no, but you're kind of seeing the grounds. You're making
I do see the grounds.
So you're
with my
making
eyes.
sure that there's no other people on them as well.
Yeah, and sometimes you think there is. Sometimes you're
What do
not
you mean?
sure.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the grounds are bigger than our grounds.
Yeah.
And there's different doors. And sometimes...
Into the grounds? In the ground?
So on the grounds, there's different structures. And sometimes...
What do you mean by structures?
Like different...
Because I'm thinking of like skyscrapers or something.
Think of very small skyscrapers.
Oh, okay.
Like the size of homes.
Okay.
And so you have the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then you maybe have a home.
And that's surface level.
Oh, it's actually, it's on a bit of a hill, so it's all different levels. But
But
yeah,
it's on
surface
the surface
level,
of
yeah.
the earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you have this home, and then maybe you have another structure that is like, could be an apartment. And you have like another
So
structure.
not a small skyscraper, a little small.
Very small skyscraper, yeah.
Okay.
Very small, but to something like a tarantula, it is probably a small skyscraper. You know.
Okay. Okay.
So, and then you have these different four, walls that create the structure, and you have them placed about.
And they
on the
don't always
grounds.
have to have 4, but most
No, some
most
of them have
common-
more.
Yeah, most commonly it's 4.
Or more.
Yeah, it's I've seen one with 2 before, and it was really incredible.
Well, that just sounds like a 2 playing cards stacked against each other, and it sounds very, or like an A-frame.
Oh, yeah, I guess it could. It wasn't, but I guess that's another form of a tour.
So what I'm saying, what could be a little spooky, is that sometimes one of the doors to one of the structures is just open. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
like it's open.
And
like
that's spooky
from the outside to the inside.
But and that's spooky.
Well, because nobody's there.
But someone opened it.
Someone opened it.
But has it been closed when you've been there as well?
In the past?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you getting to the house and it's open?
Yeah.
Do you think by chance that maybe they just didn't latch it?
They totally could have just not shut the door.
Right.
In their frenzy to get to the airport.
Do you think maybe the UPS guy left it open?
Not possible.
Really?
Because there's gates on the outside. Nobody's supposed to be on the inside.
So someone with the code is getting into the gate?
Well, I hope not. But when you see open doors, you
are kind of freaking me out.
You get a little nervous. And then also,
spooky, huh?
Yeah, that was pretty spooky.
That's what it makes me, when I equate it to sounds, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, that is the sound. And if that sound were playing as I was walking through the grounds at night, I'd be more nervous than I already am.
Sure. Common thing to be scared of.
Yeah, I definitely get scared. I do the when I get to my car, I check the back.
You're often scared. You're often scared and terrified.
Do you never check the back of your car to make sure there's nobody back there?
Sometimes, I guess, but I don't get in my car and I don't be scared anymore.
Well, I'm not scared once I realize. I just check. I check to make sure nobody's back there. And
what
then
would you do
good.
if you saw someone back there? Because it would be better to check it before you get in. Check the back seat before you get in the car. Because otherwise, you're in the car, you've shut the back door, and then you've trapped yourself in a little can, and you're basically going to die in there. So, if anything, check it from now on. Check it before you get in the car, just for your safety and for our safety and for the betterment of our home and our own family.
Well, it can be a challenge because I have to, the battery on my keys doesn't work, so I can't just hit the button. I have to actually insert my key into the key hole,
right before you even
open the door.
Before you even do that, though, just look into the back seat to make sure no one's in there.
I can look into the back seat, but there's often a glare. Maybe the street light, maybe my window's not completely clean.
Okay, well, knock on the window and say, hey, man, is anyone in there or something? I'm coming in.
I can do that.
So just do something because waiting until you get inside is just too... It's too late.
Nothing. It's never too late.
There used to be a spooky story. There was a spooky story where there was this woman who was driving this car, and there was a semi-truck following her, and he would flash her high beams on her, and she would look and she'd be like, "Why is he flashing the high beams on me every so often?" And he was flashing the high beams on her because he would flash the high beams every time the guy in the back seat would go to try to stab her. And that was him kind of saving her.
Was he honking?
Like the semi-truck?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's honking involved too. But there was the light, the high beams were the thing that in the spooky story, that's what stood out the most.
Well,
have you not heard that spooky story?
Yeah, I've heard it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because it's been around some time.
Yeah, it's been around, and so have I.
Yeah, that's no lie. Respect to that.
Hey, the T-shirts.
Oh yeah, well, you got your T-shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
I got my T-shirt on, and for those of you, we got these heavy bang shirts called "My Body, My Place."
Yeah.
It's just a thing that's said here on the podcast. Is something that we believe in, and
well, it's also something that you say a lot. It's definitely become a bit of your slogan.
Well, it's something that really means something to me, and I think it. I think other people understand what it means as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my body, my place. So, yeah, we have these shirts, and it looks good on you. It fits really good. It's a nice female cut. It has a nice wide neck. Shows your clavicle. Beautiful bone.
Does it
across your chest? It looks nice.
It
looks good. And you guys, if you're interested in them, you can just reach out to us however you want to get a hold of the podcast and just say, hey, I'd like to get one of those shirts and we can talk about it or whatever you want to talk about.
It is a very comfy shirt.
Very comfy. Well, that's the thing. It's printed on organic cotton. It's on
Amen.
I think it's Canvas and Bella is the company we're using right now. To get the sustainable inks as well. So they're really kind of as green as you can be without being green shirts. But you can have them in green, but we have them in purple.
Mm-hmm. It's a good color.
Purple looks good on white people, and black people, and light skinned people, and dark skinned people, and also basically all sorts of people.
Purple is definitely one of those colors that looks good on everybody.
Everybody. That's what I was trying to do, because when I realized, because I know it's one of my favorite colors.
Whereas like yellow is not a good color for you.
Not a good color for me, but really good for.
And I know that because I've bought you yellow shirts that you haven't worn.
Right. Well, I feel like it doesn't. The color it just has to be a certain color yellow.
Yeah.
But those work different for people like with olive skin or darker skin. Yellow looks better, I think, in my opinion. And if you have anything to say about that, if you're a listener and you agree, I love that. And if you disagree, I love that. I love both of them actually. So, we got a massage.
Yeah, we each got one.
We each got a massage.
First massage in years for me.
Was it years?
Yeah.
Gosh, I'd like to get them more frequently for sure. Definitely, I'm a fan of the massage, getting the massages. This was not your regular massage.
Because it was Swedish, or?
Well,
because we usually get in the past we've got the Thai.
I had two different masseuses. I had two different. So one we'll call Sneezy, and the other one we'll call Cold Hands.
And they're different?
Two different people. Sneezy was dealing with the sniffles.
Yeah, I heard that.
And sneezing and coughing, and was actually sneezing and coughing so much that she didn't even need to use any massage oil. So, and I know that is gross, but when you're getting a massage, it still is. It's really gross.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting it.
You weren't expecting the sneezes?
So much of it.
Do you think she was sick, or do you think she had allergies?
So much mucus. I know that she created a slip and slide on my back of mucus. Mm. You could just hear her splashing around back there.
So you were well lubricated?
Well lubricated with natural
mucus
oils and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't normal. I hadn't been sneezed on so much in my life. And then she left halfway through, and then went and got a COVID test. I had asked her to.
Okay, I didn't hear you. You must have done it very quietly.
It was quiet. It needed to be done.
Did she went and got a COVID test?
Yeah, she needed to. She definitely had something going on. It wasn't good. You heard how much it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I was going to be getting sick.
Well, no, I was socially distanced from her.
You were socially distanced, that's true.
And my lady was totally good.
Your lady, yeah, it seemed like you really enjoyed your woman. She was a nice kind of elderly woman who...
she wasn't elderly.
Was she not?
No, but she was older than the other one. She was older than your two. She was older than Sneezy. I don't know what Cold Hands looked like.
Okay, I don't know what Cold Hands looked like either, but Cold Hands was definitely stronger. And Cold Hands seemed to deal with ice.
How so?
Works in a refrigerator or something.
So Cold Hands comes
straight from the freezer.
Sneezy leaves
to get that test. Long? And forever. And someone new came back who had just
How long are you lying in the bed without being massaged?
At least a few minutes.
And what are you wondering?
I'm wondering if this is going to cut into my time.
Are you looking over at me?
Oh, I can't really look at anybody because I'm face down.
Got it.
And I'm just trying to get myself comfortable and trying to focus.
And then another body comes
Cold Hands comes in.
And where does cold hands apply? Cold hands.
Basically to my thighs.
Okay.
Using you know, and I had the problem is I'd circled deep tissue.
You mean when you say circle deep tissue? I think
on the
you
massage
mean
chart.
Right. So they gave us these charts that said, "Hey, circle the things you want. Circle the level of intensity.
The level of intensity of the massage.
Circle if you want stretching. If you want your fingers pulled on.
Yep. Walking.
If you want walking. You want elbows.
Elbows, all of it. So
I circled everything.
Deep tissue. Yes.
You circled deep tissue.
I wanted them to go deep. I did not know that they were going to be going inside of. That's how deep they went. Cold hands was using the claw.
The claw?
The claw to fight off something inside of my body that I did not know was there. And when the claw wasn't working
thigh?
in my entire body. But yeah, in my thigh, especially and inside of my armpit. They're using the claw. And when the claw wouldn't work, cold hands would drop an elbow in my back. And it was incredibly painful. Mm-hmm. It was very painful. I had to crawl out of there.
I do have to. I saw that with my own two eyes when you were. You were watching my massage. No, but when you got off the bed and you were trying to leave the room, you were kind of
I couldn't walk.
Over.
I had to crawl out of there
and walk, and taking these very strange little steps.
Well, I had been wrecked in there. They sprained my ankle or my hip. Excuse me, my hip.
Your hip has.
My hip's been popping ever since that day. And Sneezy, before she left, had done some sort of kung fu on my hip, where she was stomping on it with her feet. With her feet. And she was light, but she was very strong too.
Do you regret stepping on, like walking on you? Because I did not. I said no walking on.
Well, I guess I regret. I guess I just regret not being up front. Like, are we going to be using massage oil? Are people going to be working in other elements that are colder before they come in to finish a job? Or is there going to be a tag team halfway through? I wish I would have known that stuff going in, because I thought I was going to have the same woman the whole way through. I thought she was going to be perfect health, and I thought that there wasn't going to be any sort of assault.
It sort of just teaches you a lesson of don't have any expectations.
With
massages or anything.
I guess, right. Kind of go in there. I guess I did that. It's a testament to, yes, a spiritual practice. Yes.
Yeah. Just sort of taking what life gives you.
Yes. I didn't do that. I had certain expectations.
Would you again circle deep tissue?
I will never go back to that place again.
See, I liked my lady, and I think I'd go back for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
even with the COVID and everything.
Well, she didn't. I didn't hear her sneeze or cough once.
Your woman, or mine?
Mine.
Okay, yeah, yours was very healthy.
She seemed very healthy.
Yeah.
I circled light to medium.
Build. Is this, what is that for?
No, for the intensity of
right.
the massage.
Yep.
Because I don't like a massage that hurts. I did, however, she definitely saw my vagina.
Well, you didn't wear underwear this time. Yeah. And I feel like they kind of liked that. She was touching you a little, no?
Okay. Well, yeah, she was giving me a massage.
Well, she was also giving you a massage on your clitoris. No?
No.
I thought you were telling me that she was slipping you a finger here and there.
No, I never said that.
What did you say?
I said that sometimes it felt very close. But also, you know, you got to think
I was
that
under the impression she was
radiating off her hands.
Well, as energy beings, we have, even as we have an energy field outside of us that we're able to feel things come close without coming close to us. Excuse me, I'm hitting my own mic. But just being beings, we have that. So I guess that's what you were feeling, is her energy kind of coming into your vagina.
Yeah, I guess so. Energy. And it wasn't, it was just getting close. And that was my bad. had just put a pair of leggings on before we went.
I don't think it's anybody's.
But I was embarrassed. I kind of wish they had like disposable underpants there for anybody who forgets their underpants.
Mm-hmm.
But
see, I prefer to go naked completely. See, I just prefer it. I feel more free, and I feel like there's not going to be any sort of restriction.
Well, we've done this before. Mm-hmm. We went another time to Burbank, and I think this time we got Thai massages. And which I do notice a bit of a difference in technique between the Thai and the Swedish massages.
Well, just two really completely different cultures.
Yeah, but still the same.
Different sides of the world, even.
Yeah, but the same masseuses are doing multiple kinds. So,
Great. Well, kind of like how there are some, some fighters who are, skilled in MMA and Muay Thai and, jiu-jitsu
MMA is mixed martial arts.
Got it. Right. So that exactly.
So those are sort of mixed masseuse artists,
right?
Which is similar to MMA.
So MMA really basically,
same,
mixed masseuse artist.
But do you remember when we went to that place in Burbank, which was like a few years ago or more?
Yeah.
And you forgot your underwear that day.
What? Yeah, I wasn't wearing underwear at the time.
You weren't wearing underwear. And before we went in, I made the mistake of smoking weed with you.
Oh yeah, I got super high. You got real high too.
I got very high.
Shouts out to the Pots. Yep, go ahead.
And it's not something I usually do. Go out in the world and function while on marijuana. But I thought
I'm familiar, some sort familiar with it.
I thought, hey, what better time than to go relax, but smoke weed first.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I'm very high, and I know you don't have underwear on.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, that's really tripping me out. That you're going in there with no underwear.
Got it.
Because I know that your peen is just out.
My what?
Your peen.
Can you spell that?
Pein.
Pein. Okay.
And
is that French?
Yes.
Okay.
And I hear your masseuse and my masseuse. They have a little conversation together in their language, so I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And then your masseuse is giggling.
Oh, that is messed up. She was not.
She was giggling.
They were not giggling.
They were 1,000% giggling.
I can promise you that was not a giggle. What you were hearing was kind of like, oh my gosh, oh wow. That's what you were hearing. You weren't hearing any giggles.
No, I swear on your frame, which is a very expensive frame, that I heard giggling.
That's so rude.
And
I don't even.
And it was.
I'm not even one to be giggled at in that department.
Well, what they're probably.
I'm not saying that I got a slugger, but what I'm saying is I'm definitely not one to be giggled at in that department.
But
I think you know that for sure.
Giggling because you didn't wear underwear. And you've told me...
That better have been the only reason that they were giggling. Because otherwise it's unwarranted. And anyone who knows me knows it's unwarranted. Continue. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I got a little upset, but that's just... that it strikes a bit of a penis. It strikes a chord with me. Continue.
Well, that was basically it. I didn't like being high during the massage. And I didn't like that you didn't have underpants on. And then this last massage, I'm not high, thank goodness. Otherwise it would have been way worse. But I don't have underpants on this time. Yeah. And
I mean, I loved it. I thought you looked great.
The moral of the story is just wear undergarments to your massages.
Is it? Well, unless it's not your thing. Then in that case don't, but make sure that you're a semi going into it.
What do you mean a semi?
You get a semi going before you go into it, so you're not getting giggled at. A semi flaccid penis.
That's exactly what I was worried about. I thought in that room when she was giggling that you were getting a hard on, and they were giggling.
Well, you know that I do sometimes get a hard on in the massages. Sometimes I do. It's just
so that's why they were giggling. I'm sure of it.
I promise you. I can look. I'm not trying to be that guy. but I promise you that if I was getting, they're not going to be giggling. I was not getting hard when they were giggling.
Why else are our masseuses speaking to each other in a language we can't understand and then giggling?
This is before I've even started. Before the massage even started.
No, this is into the massage.
During the massage?
During the massage.
Okay, well look, I don't know. It's natural, okay? But to giggle is just disrespect. And I guess I don't remember that. I don't remember hearing that. I definitely would have put a stop to it pretty quick had I known it was going to be happening or it was happening.
No, you knew it was happening.
And as my wife, you should
I wasn't married to you at the time.
Okay, well you should have said something like, "Hey, knock it off, guys. You know it's not small." That's what you could have said to them. You could have said it's not huge either, but we know it's not small.
Just wear undergarments to your massage.
I don't know because now I feel like I need to go back into that place in Burbank without underwear, and see if they giggle again to see really, and then ask them, "What do you guys?" Well, I would say, "Hey, I've been in here before. You may have recognized me.
Yeah,
I've been
on 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, but they may have recognized my face. I've been on, I've done it several commercials, and people see me on television.
So you think that when they see your commercials, that they probably giggle again?
That's the guy, and
say that's the guy who was at half mass.
Yeah, with the semi. They probably do. There's that guy at Michael's who clearly had recognized me from whatever. So I can imagine it's happening to people who work in massage as well.
What does the guy at Michael's have to do with semi?
I'm saying that I don't go to Michael's with the semi. I don't.
Are you sure? Because the other day you told me that when you were in elementary school, you tucked your penis into your belt.
I used to get boners all the time in elementary school. That's just, and that did happen for sure. And it happened to, and I promise you it happened to all of the male listeners. It's happened to them. And even probably, I don't know, it probably happened to the females in their own way.
No, it's never happened to me.
Well, you did, but you couldn't have gotten a semi or a stiff.
Right. I've never had a semi.
But you probably had gotten feelings down there, I'm sure.
No.
Denim rubbing on things certain way.
No.
Really?
No.
I'm telling you right now that I would have, if I were a female, I would have been doing masturbatory things in school, in class. I mean, You're
saying that, but you don't know because you're not a female. But also, you're saying that because
I was masturbating.
You were doing that at school.
Well, look, I was exploring myself
at school.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? I'm in the
because you're at school. You're there to learn, and then what are you doing? Running out. You're saying I gotta use the restroom, and then you're running to the bathroom.
Yeah, I got a thing that's jabbing me in the belly button. And I'm not paying attention to this history class because I'm feeling about how bad I have to nut right now. And granted, I didn't know those terms, but all I knew is I had to squeeb out of my pee-pee. So that's what I needed to do. And it was a different environment. It was a school environment. It was a little different. You had to make sure, like, if you were going to go in the stall that your feet were turned around the same way. You couldn't face it like you were peeing. Otherwise, people would kind of know. And you couldn't have a jingly belt. You would have to like tuck your belt into your jean pocket.
So you're saying you had to face which direction?
You had to face away from the toilet, so it looked like you were sitting on a number 2.
Got it. And then would you sit?
No, I wouldn't sit on the toilet. I'd never sit in public toilets. That's gross.
But you'll get the squeat out of your pee-pee.
I will if it's at school and on an airplane.
Because you've done it on an airplane.
I've done it on an airplane once.
How old?
I was 12 years old.
Do you look back at yourself and are you ashamed?
I'm not, because it took me, I'd always wanted to be in that club. And
what club?
The Mile High Club.
That's not the Mile High Club.
Well, I think it's a VIP. It's not the VIP, but it's kind of the next step. It's the step right before the Mile High Club.
Masturbating in the bathroom is the step before the Mile High Club.
It's basically kind of your way in, basically. It lets people know, oh, okay, well, you're willing. So it's kind of like, when you could get your SAG card from doing like new media.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. You can get, your Mile High Club through doing some masturbatories.
It's like what's the word? Like in hazing, like in college hazing, like where it's like how you get into.
Oh yeah, kind of.
I actually don't know anything about what I'm talking about, so I'm going to stop.
Okay, but I feel like if it's some sort of competition to get into something.
It's this like rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage for sure. And it's very freeing, yes. I was with my grandmother and my mom.
That's gross.
Well, I wasn't thinking of them, first of all. Okay. I needed to go. I was like, first of all, I was like, well, what does this feel like? I'm higher elevation. Will it feel different? How quick can I go? Will people just think I'm maybe going number 2 instead of number 3? I don't know.
So you're banking a lot on this number 2 thing when you use the restrooms.
So, well, it's involved.
So when you tell me,
yeah,
I have to go to bathroom. You say I have to go to bathroom.
Yeah.
Is that not always
50% of the time?
Okay.
50% of the time. And it's only because I have a boner in my belt.
Okay.
And I just got to stop. It's just making me think about school.
Okay, well, let's move on then.
Okay. So anyway, I think that I'm not alone is what I want to say. I'd like to think that I'm not alone.
I don't think you're not. I'm sure you're not alone.
Yeah, I'm not.
But also, I bet it is it's not everybody.
Probably not everybody. But I'm a bit of a free spirit.
That you are.
You said that in our vows, or you've told me that shortly after you'd said our vows.
No, I think I said it in our vows.
I think you did as well. And because I remember them and because that was such a special thing for you to say. Yeah. So, so maybe it isn't for everybody, but I'm definitely not alone. I'm glad I was alone when I was doing it though.
So was I. So am I.
Right. I mean, I guess it would have been nice to have I guess, I didn't really join.
It's for the best.
It's for the best. It's for the
best that you were alone.
It's for the best. So, yeah, I don't even know how we got onto this, anyway.
Well, the massages led into it.
Yes. So, anyway, so the massage, wasn't very regular. Do you have anything that anything you want to talk about or anything like that? We're doing a podcast and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's something big.
Is there something big?
Yeah.
Well, hold on a sec. Are you just gonna drop it, or are you gonna kind of build into it? Like, did you get a call or something
I'm
just
gonna say it.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Say it. Go ahead and just go ahead and say it. I guess. I don't know. I don't know really where you're going with this. I don't really know what to expect.
I'm dying in 3 to 5 years.
You're dying in 3 to 5 years.
I have 3 to 5 years.
Who told you this?
I saw a video.
Uh-huh. Did they tell you specifically, Mischa, you're going to die in 3 to 5 years?
No, but they said if you have received the COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah. And you have received it.
And I received it. It was pretty early on. They said you will die in 3 to 5 years.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Nope.
Oh my God. Fuck.
So, and I received it back in March. So what's March, April, May, June, July, August. We're going into the 6th month.
Oh my God.
So really I have
4.5 years.
2.5 to 4.5 years.
Do you think I should renew the lease?
What lease?
Our lease here.
No.
Oh my God.
I've been thinking about my will and testament.
Your intestine? What about it?
My will and testament.
What's your will and testament?
And there's some things that I'd like certain people to have of mine.
Go ahead, continue. Am I involved in this?
You are involved.
Okay.
I know I talked to you about my collection of rocks.
Yeah.
You said you wanted the collection of rocks.
I want the collection of rocks.
Well, my friend, and I don't know if I should say anybody's actual names on the podcast, but a good friend of mine, and you know her, and she was in our wedding.
Okay.
She said she wanted any rocks that were painted. So I want to give her the rocks that are painted. I want to give her painted rocks, and if I happen,
no. I get to keep all the rocks. If anything, you can paint her new rocks before you're gone.
And that's what she said. She said if from here until my death, if I happen to paint more rocks, she would also take those.
Okay, that's fine. But also, if you paint something that I really like, that is, then I get to keep that as well. But she can have any of the ones that I don't like up until this point. That's really only fair. I'm your husband.
I know. I just promised her the painted rocks.
Okay, well, that's fine. Just paint some other rocks for her or something. Or, there's probably even the kids up the street. I think they've even painted on some rocks out the side. We could just give her some of those. But I'm keeping all of your rocks. And the painted ones that I like, I will keep.
And then there's my grandmother's tea set.
Yeah, I'll take that for sure, too. I'm going to take that. That's very nice. It's really nice, and it's so shiny and gold.
Well, and it's several generations old.
Mm-hmm.
It's from France. It was made in Belgium.
Mm-hmm. Which is in France.
Which is next to France.
Right.
And
they make great pancakes.
Waffles.
Right.
So you're taking that.
I'm going to take the tea set.
Okay, but it is an antique tea set.
Oh yeah, it's an antique set, is what it is actually.
And you are going to keep it completely safe because it's very fragile.
I'm going to leave it in that cupboard until I move out of this place. And honestly, I'll probably just stay here for a while.
Well, if I could tell you what I would like.
Okay, sure.
Is I would like eventually for it to be in a glass case so that people who enjoy it can look through the glass and see the antique tea set.
Okay, of course. I can do that, or I can have it burned and cremated and have it put in a vase and put in the ground or something. I can bury it or whatever for you.
No.
Okay, then I'll put it inside of a glass case. For people to see. Well, that's
my collection of Russian dolls.
Yeah. What about, you have a collection of Russian dolls?
Not yet.
Okay, you're going to get some though.
I've always wanted Russian dolls.
Are those the ones that go inside of each other?
Yes.
Kind of like a deep tissue massage almost.
You could say that.
Got it. So you're going to get some of those.
Before I die, I would like to buy a set of Russian dolls, or I would like to be gifted a set of Russian dolls.
Okay.
And when I'm gone, I would like the small, tiny Russian doll set to go to my brother.
I have to keep at least one of them.
It doesn't work like that.
I will keep the largest one. I'll keep the largest and you will never know. If I take the largest one, you will never know. And he won't either. Because I don't even think there's a certain number of them that go inside of one another. I think it's just kind of however many you want to make. And yes, we'll absolutely get those for you. And I've always been a fan of those. And when I used to go thrifting a lot, I'd always hope to see them. So, well, that's super unfortunate news.
Yeah, it's not good.
Well, that's okay.
But it does make me want to. I have a bucket list, and I have things that I'd like to accomplish.
I just want to hear you try to say. So I want you to deliver the news again, just one more time. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to hear how it sounds because we played it with just want to hear how it sounds with this different take. Just see if it hits the same. If it hits the same.
Yeah.
So go ahead, and you have something to say?
Yes.
Oh God, what is it?
I've been given 3 to 5 years to live.
Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Gosh, what are we gonna do?
I do a lot.
See, that's just, it was, see what I did there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well, look, you're not gonna die. Or maybe you will.
You don't know. Nobody knows because
okay.
there's no long-term tests of the vaccine. So nobody knows whether or not I'm dying and whether or not I'm going to die.
Do you feel any way inside of your body that is different that makes you think, yep, oh, this is probably happening now?
I mean, I'm in some discomfort.
Really?
Yeah. In my acical region.
Well, that wasn't for me. That wasn't for me.
No. Sometimes as you get older, your body...
It does stuff.
It fails. And...
Oh, gosh. That doesn't sound good. It sounds like you got a mess going on down there.
Organs can fail or your canals can weaken.
Uh-huh.
And... you maybe don't have enough water. And
oh God, continue dehydrated.
So you add being dehydrated to maybe not eating enough salad that week.
Jeez, you don't even have any food. Are you out in the desert? Where are you? Are you in the desert?
In a food desert.
Oh my God. How long have you been out there?
Weeks.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, okay. And that's the end of that bit. Okay, so great. Anyway, so that's basically the end of that. And
well, but you do think it's funny, but there are definitely things that I'm definitely I'm a bit concerned. Okay, and people aren't gonna like this.
Are you talking about your acical, or are you talking about your?
No, I'm talking about
your
my
overall
death.
health. Okay, your death. Okay.
I'm talking about my impending death.
Yeah, continue. Okay.
And you think it's all fun and games.
No, I don't think at all.
But there is a chance.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance
mm-hmm.
that what this man said is correct. He
mm-hmm.
is a doctor.
And just that's for the doctors out there for just doing their due diligence.
He's a doctor, and he said that I will die in 3 to 5 years.
Great.
And if that is the case,
that's going to be really unfortunate because that is, I know my career is going to be at a really, it's going to be at an all-time high right there. Not at an all-time high, but I know that it's going to be pretty high. So it's going to be hard to deal with that and also the loss of my wife.
Yeah.
But I get the tea set, which I'm super stoked about. That tea set is incredible. It's such a cool tea set made in Belgium. Really cool.
Yeah. It was my grandmother's mother's. How awesome is that?
And I think it is awesome. And it will be your daughter's dead mother's tea set. See what I mean? Because you'd be dead.
I don't even know. Here's the other thing is that the doctor also said that my fertility is just gone, done, out of there.
He said that, huh?
Yeah. So I won't even be leaving you with child.
I don't even know if that's honest. I don't even know if that's true.
Hey, that's what the gentleman said. And
he said that to you? Did he?
Well, he didn't say it to me. He said it to. He said it on the video.
Oh, got it. Okay, the doctor. Okay, okay, got it. So you're gonna die in 3 to 5 years in your fertility shot.
Yes.
Oh, great. So you're basically like an old used Buick. Really just kind of good, not really good for anything. Well, that's unfortunate, but to being present, to moving on, to knowing that it will get better before it gets worse, and then it'll get really bad, and that's just the circle of life.
Yeah, these headphones always are so tight on my head, and that is that a side effect? Is that a side effect of the vaccine?
Tight headphones?
That these headphones always hurt my head so much.
I think it has something to do.
Is my brain swelling?
It could.
And are these headphones putting so much pressure on my head?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, I see what you did.
Okay.
That
You're having a hard time getting it out.
Wait, I think I forgot where I was going with
it. Great. Okay. Well, you clearly are. It's doing something to your head. And I don't mean to be, and that's not me being rude, but it's doing something to your brain.
Exactly.
And the pressure might not be good. So I think it might be time to kind of move on to the next segment of the old podcast. You know, it's one of our favorite times of the Mischa Learns Stuff. It's that time, yep. We're going to do some educations. Going to get our brains juiced and get our attitudes smarter. And I'm ready to start when you are. I am too.
Speaking of infertility, I thought to myself, God.
And by infertility, you mean having a baby in a wrong way.
No, infertility meaning not fertile, meaning not even able to have
having
a baby.
A dumb baby. It doesn't.
Not even able to have a baby.
Incapable.
Yep. Infertile.
Got it.
The opposite of fertile.
Yep. Okay.
The opposite of fertile myrtle.
So someone who has had their tubes tied, there's a chance that they are infertile.
Yeah, I guess until they get their tubes back to normal.
That's what I mean. Exactly. Continue. Go ahead.
So
just breaking it down for the listeners.
I've got some friends who are having life inside of them.
Yes. Okay.
You know, we
and by that, do you mean, what do you mean?
I mean, making human life inside of their bodies.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
They're pregnant.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
And, you know, we've all heard fetus. We've all heard the fetal position.
It's like a Greek, I believe it's a Greek god. Because I remember reading about fetus in the Odyssey in school.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Well, you didn't read the Odyssey in school, did you?
Yeah, why are you calling me out?
No, it's fine. It's nothing about the poor education you received. I'm not talking about that at all. Continue, sorry.
So I thought, hey, what about before it's a fetus? Oh, it's an embryo. What about before it's an embryo? Oh, it's a pre-embryo.
I thought you were going to say a Prius. And I was going to say, okay, God, I see where they got that.
No. What's most fascinating is not the fetus.
It's not.
It's that pre-embryonic stage.
Is that like pre-cum?
No.
What is that?
It's crazy. It's some crazy stuff. And it makes you think like all of the...
It makes me want to take a shower.
The wildest things that science fiction can show you, like in a movie, what we actually have going on in our bodies or in the universe, way wilder than any science fiction, in my opinion.
And science fiction is, go ahead and break that down for people who don't know. I mean, obviously, I know what science fiction is.
You know what science fiction is.
I know that, and that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, why don't you go ahead and break it down for people who don't know?
I don't know, a movie about, creatures, aliens.
Is it real or fake?
Fake.
Oh, okay. So it is fake.
Yeah.
Okay, great. No, I'm just making sure. I'm clarifying.
Well, fiction is fake.
Fiction is fake.
Right?
Right.
And then science fiction is just sciencey.
Fake science. Basically.
Yeah, but maybe not so fake, because what I'm saying is that what goes on in our body seems very much alien to me. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
And let me explain it to you.
Oh, I'll give you the chance.
So when a sperm...
Okay.
And you know all about those.
I do. I started early in my education.
Yeah, at 12.
Well, I would
Younger.
say probably 10.
Okay.
By 12, I was trying to win awards.
So when a sperm makes it to the ovum, the egg, it's a
and
sex
that's
cell.
Like the queen. What is the ovum? Is kind of like the center for the eggs where you can find them.
No, there's not like multiple eggs like a spider.
Well, I've seen fish. I've seen fish eggs, and I just assume that female eggs look the same.
Well, sometimes
like
there's more than one egg,
eggs.
but it is not a cluster of eggs.
Got it. Okay.
So when the sperm reaches that, it's your sex cell.
Yeah.
In its gametes. Gamete is a
pollen.
Gamete is a sex cell.
Gamete.
Gamete.
Are you putting a T at the end?
Yeah, there's a T in it. It's not at the end, but it's TE at the end. Gamete. When your sex cell reaches,
which is my sperm.
Yeah, reaches my sex cells.
Your eggs.
First the first sperm to make it there, and you probably know this part, but he's not going to be a winner because he starts eating what's called the corona.
The virus?
No. Corona radiata or something, which is like this stuff like around the egg, and all the first ones to get there, they're all just eating it, so that they can get to what's called the pellucida, and that's where they start to burrow.
And that's where they're kind of digging.
Yeah, and they're getting in there, and then the first one in there is he's in. Once that happens, and that sperm and that egg, become one.
Well, they have sex their own selves.
Well, no, just fertilizing. I don't know that.
But that's basically sex. Well, I fertilized her. What did you do? Oh, we're having a baby. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So what happens is
like a dog fertilizes another dog to make another dog.
Okay. So it turns into what's called a zygote. Right? So when the sperm and the egg, it's called a zygote.
Okay, God, that's just a crazy word.
And then, and this is where it gets weird. So then inside that zygote, the cells start doubling, and it goes from 1 cell to 2 cells to 4 cells to 8 cells.
And they're just always in even numbers?
Well, they're doubling, so you can imagine doubling is going to be...
It's always going to be even.
Yeah.
And that's science right there. Or is that math? That's mathematics, which I think is science.
I think that would be...
Either way, that's pretty incredible.
And then it becomes oh, darn it.
Doubling and doubling and doubling.
And then it becomes this thing. It's like... I already forgot what it's called, but it's like a...
Fuck, you're supposed to bring this information up for the listeners.
I know. It starts with an M, and there's like a hard U in it.
Mucus.
No, it's like a
Medulla,
or like
medulla oblongata. What is that?
No, that's not it. But it becomes this thing, and it's like all these cells, and it's just this little cluster of cells. And
so this is after the cells have been doubling.
Yeah, and they're making their way in the first 5 days. The first 5 days is crazy. They're making their way down the tubes.
The cell or the sperms? The
cells, that cluster of cells.
Is making its way. It's now moving as a thing.
I wish I could remember what it was called.
Well, yeah, it would be nice if you had brought notes or some sort of note cards.
I have a computer.
If you can, it would just be great for the listeners because the last thing we want to do is have to come back on the episode next week and do corrections and stuff. You know how that stuff can get in the way. And it can take away from the experience from the listeners. So anyway.
I don't even know what to look up. You know what I mean? Like,
this isn't going to be good. Okay, so
I just look up the hard U word M.
No, you're gonna get a hard something else on that computer, and that isn't that's not going to be appropriate for our viewers or listeners. Maybe she's gonna look it up. So, okay. Anyway, crazy information. Wow, fascinating stuff.
Well, yeah, I'm still.
Really great stuff. Thank you so much. Do you see it though?
I do. It's just that it's like pretty.
You can get it though.
You can't actually see. The image is pretty bad.
Got it. Well, anyway, I just want to apologize for all the listeners who really tune into the podcast to kind of get some information and a little bit of a takeaway. And
Morula, is that what that says? Can you read that?
Well, not when it's so
I don't have my
away.
glasses.
But if you were to hand me the computer, maybe I would be able to see it here. And that is marula. Morula, yes.
It's a hard U.
Morula.
Okay.
Yeah. So
so that's the cluster.
Great. It looks like, and it does look like, and just for the listeners to kind of piece this together, what it basically looks like is it looks like a cluster of nipples inside of a sack. and the sac doesn't have any openings. It's all concealed with a thick fat layer around it. So a fat layer with inside look like a bunch of nipples that are actually cells. Continue.
And I don't know that that's a great description.
Well, these look just like nipples. I'm looking at this, and when it's a zygote, it's one nipple. And then it becomes a 2-cell stage nipple, which is two nipples. And then I'm looking at the 4-stage cell, and that happens to be 4 nipples. And then I'm looking at the 8-stage cell, and that is 8 nipples in there. There are 8 nipples. And then the morula has too many nipples to count. There's just a lot of nipples in there.
Yeah. So anyway, so now it's making it down this
as a morula.
Well, yeah, all the cells are doubling.
Yes.
And it's now making it from the ovaries, and it's making its way through the tube to the uterus. That's where it's trying to get to.
Kind of the home, really. It's kind of the driveway.
I mean, it's going to live there for a long time. And when now it's in the uterus, it just like, I don't even really know what happens, but poof, it becomes this thing called a blastocyst.
And is poof a scientific term?
It could be.
I'm not sure. Was it in the textbook or something? I'm just curious.
I've heard poof.
Okay. I mean, I've definitely made poof myself, so. But not usually in public.
When it becomes this blastocyst, it
what did you call it?
A blastocyst. Blastocyst.
Okay.
It's just what it's called.
Okay,
it's just what it's
I'm
called
not arguing
at
with
this
you.
stage. It's just now it's becoming a blastocyst.
Great.
And then it starts on the outside of it. It starts like getting these like gobbledygook, stretchy fingery things.
Like tentacles.
Sorry about the bang.
Tentacles though, yeah.
Not tentacles, but it's like a almost imagine like what's that show with the green pus stuff they drop on people?
It's a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah.
Well, let's look it up actually if we can.
No, I don't.
I think it's Guts.
It's called Guts.
No, it's not Guts.
It is called Guts.
It's not Guts.
It is Guts.
Are you sure it's Guts?
Yeah, because I happen to know the host of it, who hosted it.
Who's the host of Guts?
Moira. She hosted it.
That's not where you get the slime, though. That's what I'm saying. That isn't the one.
Oh, okay. Well,
okay,
look,
so
can we come back to it?
Yeah, we can come back to it. But I just want to let you. So, that is the one where they're climbing up the rock, and you get the rock.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't watch the show.
Continue. Okay, so anyway, oh God, what is the name of that show?
Can we just stick to the baby?
Yeah. Okay. So it's a blastocyst.
Okay. And then it starts transforming. It's something called differentiation, which I guess it's like starts becoming kind of different. And it's now like it's got this stuff, and the stuff is trying to like get over to the
endometrium.
Yeah, the wall. And it's like, and as it does that, once it like starts to connect to that wall, it turns into a
wallflower.
Cytoblast.
Why is everything blasting?
I don't know. It's all
I guess kind of in the way the penis is blasting sperm inside of the woman.
It's just the word. It's not about blasting. It's just that's the word. It's probably
that's how I kind of equate it. And I'm
Greek
sure
or Latin or something.
But a lot of that stuff kind of comes from actions and stuff.
And then once it starts to attach to the wall, then it becomes so now it's a cytoblast, and then it becomes a tropoblast. And like the tropoblast is like the feeding body. So it's like feeding off of the endometrium. And then it becomes a sentiotropoblast. Sentiotropoblast. I don't know. And then so all of this is called gastrulation.
Interesting.
The process it's going through is gastrulation. And in this process, it starts to form these 3 germ layers.
Okay.
And think of germ like derm.
Well, I'm thinking germs like kind of gross and something I don't really want to be touching.
No, think of germ like derm, like skin layers, like layers. You know what I mean?
Well,
just
like
think of it that way.
dermatology?
Yeah. Just think of it like that way.
That's
because
skin?
These three.
Okay.
Yeah, dermatology is skin. You go to the dermatologist if you need to.
Well, I go there to get my teeth cleaned.
No, you don't.
What? Okay.
You go to the dentist to get your teeth cleaned.
Got it.
You go to the dermatologist if maybe you're suffering from acne or you need a mole looked at that looks a little, precarious.
Or you need to get like an alignment done or something on your back or something.
What? No, it's skin.
Okay. Well, that's involved with skin, but okay, so it's different, but continue.
So in this gastrulation process, which is this like
transformative experience,
embryonic stage leading up to the embryonic stage, the gastrulation, there's these 3 layers that are formed, and they're called
germ.
No,
I'm saying germ, not derm, or germ.
Just forget that part.
Okay.
Just now, there's 3 layers that are being formed within this organism, right? And it's or I don't even know if it's an organism at that point, but whatever. This little creature that is growing. There's these 3 layers that are being formed. There's the ectoderm, the mesoderm, and the endoderm. And each one of those layers is going to help make something else later. So like the ectoderm is going to make your like nervous system. And the mesoderm is going to like do your skin and I think your heart and certain organs. And then your endoderm is going to do like your digestive system. But they're starting in these 3 little layers.
Interesting.
And then after gastrulation, which is that, then it turns into organogenesis. And now in organogenesis...
Sounds like a great band from the 80s.
Well, I think you're just thinking about Genesis.
I am for sure. But I'm just thinking that another band could even take that and still do well.
But in organogenesis, and you know what, I should stop for a second. So before you even, I think like right as you're getting into organogenesis or right before, because this is all just like happening pretty early on. We're just weeks in, like 4 weeks in when this starts happening. So what starts happening is because the little creature inside is just like a flat little creature. So how does it start becoming circular?
By God, that's how.
It folds.
It folds.
This side and this side fold, and this side and this side fold, and now you've got a little bit of a ball, and then that's when it's that little bit of a creature that then starts developing
like a penis and legs and
it
stuff.
does not have a penis at that point.
Well, eventually, but there's a chance that it could. There's a 50-50 chance.
Well, yeah, but right then it's just sort of has the like it's just like the ball, and it has like the it just looks like a little alien.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting its little like paddle hands and little paddle feet, and has the tail.
And then when do the doctors snip the tail? At what age?
Nobody snips the tail.
The tail just goes away.
Your tail does not go away.
Well, no, I still have mine.
You have the same tail you always had. It's just you grew bigger than your tail. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like you kept growing and your tail stayed, and so you just sort of like...
Gosh, so lizards really just haven't grown long enough.
Well, they haven't evolved as far as we have. That's for sure. Anyway, look, that's leading up into the embryo. That's pre-embryonic.
And that's your pre-embryonic information for today's episode.
Yeah. And one day, sooner than later, I could have a similar little creature feeding off of my endometrium.
You could. How beautiful is that? We'll go ahead and go right into the next segment. But gosh, that was really, really great information.
Thanks.
Thank you. I think the listeners are going to be juiced with knowing that about semen and women's eggs and the process of conception. I think not a lot of people know about it. I think a lot of people kind of know the action of it, know the kind of some of the finishing practices, but I don't think a lot of people know I don't know that they know about
blastocysts. I don't know.
I think they know about blasting, but I think it's in a different way that they're using it. I think that if I know, and I'm not German, but I think that that could be what is it?
Blastocyst.
Blastocyst does sound like a German way of saying I ejaculated. Oh, I blastocyst.
It doesn't sound German to me.
Well, it kind of does. And like I said, I didn't study. I didn't study English or
German.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know for sure, but it does to me. I guess that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of. I guess that's not reminds me of, but it would. That's what I guess that's what I would imagine that it might be similar. I don't know. Wow, interesting stuff.
Yeah,
really,
very interesting.
Really kind of juicy. Wow, I didn't know Heavy Banks was going to get so smart.
I mean, I'm trying every day, little by little.
Little by little, and it is it's finally starting to show, and it's showing in monumentous ways, because you're so smart.
Thank you very much.
And you're so beautiful.
Thank you.
You always have been, and you're only getting better with age, kind of like a wine.
Thanks.
The older you get, the more beautiful.
Well, I don't know if that's true. Definitely.
That is true.
Maybe on the inside, but.
Well, I'm speaking specifically on the outside.
You think that I'm more beautiful now than 5 years ago?
Yes.
You're not lying.
I don't lie. But with that, we are going to go into our next segment. Motivational speech of the day. It's got time to kind of lift these guys up. I know it's a tough time out there right now too, with life and with everything going on in the world and in the media and everything. So, that's why I started this part of the segment. I wanted to motivate people to just keep living and keep being alive and keep on the good fight. So,
hubcaps.
So that'll be today's word. It's hubcaps. I've had myself a lot of flat tires. Probably so many so that you would think that I should just stop using them altogether. But I didn't actually. I actually used to be able to change tires so fast. I could change a flat tire. I could have a flat tire and have a new tire on within 15 minutes. And that takes strength. And that takes courage to be on the side of the road, in the middle of traffic on the freeway, changing a flat tire, or maybe you're at the skate park and you weren't even able to go to the skate park and kick around and push around because you had a flat tire as soon as you got there, and you had to change it first, but you did get changed, and then you were able to go on your way and stuff. I say that because flat tires are a pain in the ass, but it's stuff that's going to happen, and that's why we have hubcaps there. The hubcaps are there to kind of take your eye away from the tire part and really kind of protect the inner workings of the wheel, kind of like the nuts and bolts is what I mean by that. That's what the kind of hubcap kind of protects that stuff from being out in the environment, and the environment can be dangerous and it can be scary sometimes, and sometimes it can be joyous and sometimes it can be saddened, but it's an environment nonetheless. So it is going to rain, and you're going to get dirt in there, and it's going to be kind of grimy if you don't have the hubcap down there to protect it, and those things fall off. Your armor can fall off, and it's really unfortunate when you do, because you're so vulnerable. You're vulnerable to infection. You're vulnerable to really loose nuts. You're vulnerable to getting rust in there too, and that's why as soon as you notice that your protection's gone, you got to put it back on. You got to click it in there. Sometimes it may feel like it doesn't fit necessarily. You just have to rotate it a little bit, just maybe like 20 degrees, and see if that's the way that it snaps on and it's supposed to click into place, because you don't want to be out there without them. I've seen people driving on the freeway and having lost them while they're driving, and then those people get into awful accidents, and they die. So it's just important to protect yourself, protect your wheels and your nuts and your bolts, and kind of keep the grease out of the sacred spot, and keep things tight, because this drive doesn't last forever. At least in this road, at least in this valley. So you just want to make sure that you're traveling secure, and you're traveling with armor, and you're traveling safe. Because you're not traveling safe, then you're going to get yourself into a nasty accident, and there's a good chance that you could get yourself into a bit of a pickle, and really nothing's worse than grease. I've gotten grease on my pants so often that it actually has made me sick. So just want to thank you guys for listening to another episode of Heavy Bangs. Buckle those caps on your wheels and click them into place, and just know that they are there to protect you, and that when you have those on there, that you're gonna be in some good shape. So thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.